Sean, can you speak so that I can be sure I can hear you? Can someone unmute so that I can hear you?
Morning, this is Sean from Makita.
Okay, great, thanks.
Hi, good morning, everyone. All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a name today.
Yes, I am.
All right, good morning. Number roll call, please.
Trustee Barry,
Excuse.
Trustee Dorsey,
Present.
Trustee Liger,
Here.
ex officio member Richardson,
Here.
Trustee Russell, Trustee Russell, Trustee Smith,
Present.
Chairman Calwood,
Here.
Trustee Russell. I know he's on. Trustee Russell, Mr. Chairman, could we say present by proxy?
You must have come. Someone.
Huh? Can we do that? Seems like he's having some problems.
I couldn't hear you, Mr. Please.
Okay, present. It's 5 present, 1 excused, excluding the ex officio member who's present. We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Comments and suggestions from retirees?
No.
Morning,
Morning.
Mary Moorhead here.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Warren.
Good morning. Two things that I want. One is that I'm asking for you to consider something with collecting fees with credit card, because I had a concern here today. I had to get a check stub for human services, and because collect a credit card, I had to come all the way east to come get this check stub to then go back west to go to human services. And I think if you're going to have fees, and remember there is a law that says you must have the option. So I put an in for that request. And secondly, I think it's been at least a month now, if not more, that I saw in your meeting notes that you selected the new executive director, and I haven't seen nor heard any announcement, presentation or whatever. So I'm asking, where's the new director that you all selected? What's the name? Where is the person, he or she?
Okay, with respect to the first comment, collecting fee for GRS to collect, I'm not understanding what the comment.
You're not understanding?
I heard what they say, but I was trying to follow the scenario that you did.
The service fee for me to get a check stub, I have to pay $5. because you would not collect by credit card, I had to come to the office here. I'm right now at the office in Christiansted because I had to come to pay that $5 to get that check stub to take it to Human Services. And I'm saying you need to accommodate credit card some kind of how if you have fees. And if I recall correctly, the legislature did pass a law that there is to be an option with anyone that is charging that credit card must be an option.
Okay, I understand. Understood. And then with regard to the second comment, I'm going to speak to that a little later in the meeting.
You're going to do what?
I'm going to speak to that further a little later in the meeting.
Oh dear, well then I guess I won't hear. Because I leave in now since I bring me out of the house. Okay. Could you just tell me, is there in fact a new ED? Yes or no? Please tell me how much?
I'll speak to that later and further down in the meeting.
All right. Thank you. Shut it down.
Any comments on suggestions from any other retirees? Any comments and suggestions from active members? Next item on the agenda, the secretary minutes from the regular board meeting for April 20th, 2023. Are there any corrections or edits that need to be made to the minutes? Can I get a motion to accept the minutes?
Trustee, Chairman Howard.
Go ahead,
Chairman.
Elsie.
Yes, just a quick question in reference to the minutes. I made the request that we trustees be notified of any committee meetings which seemed to have made the minutes, but I also had mentioned that from before, and as well as any documentation which was actually confirmed with the previous chairman, Bori. So has something changed from then to now in terms of information, documentation that trustees are entitled to see? Is there anything that we're excluded as trustees from seeing in committee meetings or the board meetings? Are we excluded from certain documents?
Trustee Dorsey, what before us right now are the minutes for the April 20th meeting. Do you have any issues with regard to the minutes from the April 20th, 2022 meeting?
Hello?
Yes, we are
I didn't
considering.
hear you.
Huh?
I didn't hear what you said. I was asking a question in reference to the minutes.
I'm asking you, are there issues with the minutes? What is the issue with the minutes?
I mentioned before. Okay, well, you go ahead.
No,
go
no,
ahead.
what I'm saying, are there any edits or corrections to be made to the minutes? That's what I'm asking. That's what's before us right now.
I wouldn't address that part right now. I have to address this other issue whenever I get a chance. So
Okay.
I need to, if you can add it to the agenda, because it's not clear. We still coming up in the minutes.
Executive session now.
Okay, fine.
Can I get a motion to accept the minutes from April 20th, 2023? So moved by Trustee Smith. Do I have a second? Can I get a second to accept the minutes from April 20th, 2023?
Second.
Moved by Trustee Smith, seconded by Trustee Liger. Can I have a roll call, please, Mr. Nitz?
Trustee Bori, absent. Trustee Dorsey,
Yes,
trustee Liger,
Yes.
trustee Rosso. Absent. Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Colwood,
Yes.
4 yes, 2 absent.
Point of information, Chair. Trustee Russell's trying to get on. Are we gonna give him a minute to try to get on? Someone to contact him?
Started late, let's put it in now. Minutes from the May 18th meeting. Are there any edits, any corrections to be made?
Yeah, Chair,
Yes,
Dorsey again.
yes, sir.
Trustee Russell's having some technical problems. I don't know if he has any questions in reference to what we're discussing. Are we gonna give a minute for him to get on?
We started 15 minutes late, let's get through the agenda. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes from the May 18th regular board meeting? Moved by Trustee Smith, can I get a second?
I second.
Moved by Trustee Smith, seconded by Trustee Liger. Can I have a roll call, Mr.
Trustee Barry, absent. Trustee Dorsey. Trustee Dorsey. Absent. Trustee Liger.
Yeah,
Trustee Russell. Absent. Trustee Smith.
Yes,
Chairman
Yes,
Callwood.
yes, vote from me. Dorsey,
Trustee Callwood.
Yes, Mr. Lynch.
Trustee Dorsey. Yes. 4 yes, 2 absent.
All right, communications and correspondences.
There's one. There's a letter dated May 15th from the Donna Fred Gregory, Senator Gregory, who's the chairman of the Budget Appropriation and Finance. Could you move it up, Miss? This letter, it says there, Mr. Nibs, the Committee on Budget Appropriation and Finance has scheduled a budget hearing for the Government Employees Retirement System on Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023 at 9 a.m. in the Earl B. Hartley Legislative Hall on St. Thomas. So it's just giving notice that the GRS has been invited on Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023 at 9 a.m. to present a budget to the Committee on Budget Appropriation and Finance. That's all. That's all.
Chairperson's report. I attended the National Conference of Public Employees Retirement Systems Conference, May 20th to May 24th. I have nothing else to report. Administrators report.
Could you move forward? Okay, on May 22nd through the 24th, I attended the National Conference on Public Employees Retirement System, MC-First Conference 2023. On the 26th, I attended a special Joint Division Activity Centers meeting. On the 30th, I attended a meeting with the Executive Director of VI Housing Authority, Robert Graham, to discuss housing opportunities in the VI. So it's a development committee initiative. On the 31st, I attended a meeting with Jackson Development, Clifford Graham, to discuss housing opportunities in the VI, a development committee initiative. On June 5th, I attended a development committee meeting. On June 13th, I met with the staff of meeting with my staff in regards to Wang Louis Hospital issues. Also on the 13th, I met with the actuary and the investment advisor regarding preliminary discussion for board presentation on effects of the restart of the loan program on cash flows. And on the 16th, I attended the Havenside Mall Oversight Committee meeting. There are 142 applications in-house as of June 15, 2023, retirement applications. The majority of the outstanding application obviously is still in FY 2023. We come completed, we received 115. We have processed 11. There's 104 remaining for a majority of a significant amount of.
Can you speak up a little bit, Mr. Nips?
Yeah. Let me see if I can put up my, as in regards to refunds, as October through May 31, 2023, number of cases completed, 648. Number of cases pending, 54. That period, October 1, 2022 to May 31, 2023, we have completed amount of $6,611,904.83. The majority of 5.8 million is regular non-vested members. That benefits for the same period, we have completed 27, number of cases pending 46. The dollar value is $1.3 million. Active members, 876 out of the 1.3 million. As far as payroll, number of retirees as of June 15, 2023, 8,792. The cumulative amount paid out from October 1, 2022 to June 15, 2023, $187,675,487.07. Number of retirees added to the payroll from October through June 15, 275. The number of retirees who were deceased, deleted from the payroll for the same period, 216. The gross retiree payroll for the 6/15 payroll was $11.1 million. In regards to our loan portfolio, there are 866 units through May 2023. Of that amount, 810 are active and retiree personal loans. We have 56 mortgages still outstanding. Total outstanding portfolio of loans through May 2023, $9,591,103.45. We do plan to have loans maturing through December of about 280 at the end of December, and next year, about 345 expected to be matured. Outstanding issues I'd like to bring before the board: the Water and Power Authority payment of contributions remains in non-compliance with the Virgin Islands Code and the V3 business rules. WAPA has not paid its employer contributions since June 24, 2021. They are paying the employee contributions, deductions, and loan deductions, which have been submitted through June 8, 2023. As of June 5, 2023, WAPA has an outstanding employer contribution of $12.2 million, which include interest and penalties. Snyder Regional Hospital. Miss, you gotta go back. Should be on page 7. You're looking at it wrong. Miss, you need to go to the June report. This is the May report.
Okay, I'll do that.
Go to page 7 of that report. Page 8, page 7, physically 8 on the computer.
Can you stop sharing, Mr. Nips, and look up the correct information?
Okay, I'm gonna
load the document again.
For the Snyder Regional Medical Center remains in non-compliance with the VI code and the V3 business rules. As of June 5th, 2023, Snyder Regional Medical Center has an outstanding balance, which includes employer and employee contributions, other deductions, and interest and penalties in an amount of $1.9 million. As of May 23, we have a count which is based on contributions received of active employees for members in the amount of $9,006. Annual benefit statements. A total of 9,845 annual benefit statements were mailed to Tier 1 and Tier 2 members, active, inactive, and returned to work. The sorting, stuffing, and mailing out process were completed using 2 hours of daily overtime using a total of 16 from both districts, 16 staff from both districts. The project spanned approximately 4 weeks. 6% to 590 of statements were returned due to incorrect addresses. We are accumulating the cost of the entire project to report to the board. Management recommends an amendment to the VIC, which mandates that the statements must be mailed annually. We are in the 21st century and 95% or more of our members are computer literate and have access to a computer or a smartphone. The statements are available electronically to our members through member self-serve via the website. In regards to our rental, in May 2023, we collected $24,718.07. Rental in the amount of $24,619.04. Total fiscal year to date, we have collected $901,268.01. Rental amount $568,362.47. Arrearages will be 2023, $143,665.80. Rental, I've got amount rental is $93,425.10. If you look at Exhibit A in your handout, we have, the government is in arrears. Also, our private tenants are in arrears. So I'm not sure I have not gotten an update as yet, but it indicated there Department of Justice, their May rental and electric are in arrears. Division of Personnel, April and May rental, and April and May electrical are in arrears. For Pleasant, May rent. For Pleasant Administrative Storage, May rent. For Pleasant ASC, May rent. For Ann Arbor, which is downstairs, Equitrust is also in arrears, May electrical. And for the VI Casino, March, April, and May rent. So we are in discussions with these tenants in regards to submitting the rents. However, rental in arrears through May, as I indicated, is $93,425.10. Electrical rent in arrears $50,240.70. This is my report, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nitz. We'll take a 5-minute recess. Meeting stand and recess for 5 minutes.
Hello. Go ahead, I'm on mute.
I'm here, Ronald Russell. All right, good morning. I can hear us fine?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear us?
Yes. At least I can.
So Moses, the volume is
Yeah,
low.
volume.
I can hear you.
Okay. We having difficulty hearing on this.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, barely.
Yes.
We're working on the volume on our end.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm?
Anything? Can you guys hear us?
I can hear you.
Mr. Figueroa?
I'm finished. I can hear you. I'm finished. Unless there are questions to what I discussed.
I have one to the chair. Mr. Dibs, what are we doing about the arrests? Those that you listed?
We just calling the contractors to determine what's the issue. I mean, we know what's the issue with probably the government. That goes through property and procurement, and there's some type of payment that comes from OMB. It's just strange that the private rentals are in arrears. Usually they are not. So we are following up on that.
All right, any other questions for the administrator?
Chairman,
Go ahead, Trustee Dorsey.
Chairman Carwood, I sent you a document pretty late this morning, which is part of Mr. Nibbs's presentation. You just want to wait to go through that first before we discuss it?
I don't know what it is, so.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Mr. Chairman Carwood.
Well, hold up, Dorsey, I ain't had a chance to look at it, so let's.
Put it on hold.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Any other questions for Mr. Nibbs?
That's fine. I have no
Okay.
other questions. Thank you.
All right, committee reports. Development Committee. Trustee Russell, you there? Any other committee reports? All right, let's move on. And Treasurer's report.
Share. Okay, good morning, Board Chair, other trustees.
Morning.
This is the treasurer's report for the month ending May 31st, 2023. Loan repayment. We 594,333 year-to-date, 4,908,566. Employer retirement contributions, 9,456,304. Year-to-date, 65,180,551. Employee retirement contributions, 5,197,281. Year-to-date, 37,182,832. We have a total collection of $15,969,054 year-to-date. $268,816,583. Disbursements, we have annuity payments of $22,976,880. Year-to-date, $187,472,268. Administrative expenses, we have $798,440. Year-to-date, $8,929,961. Refund of contributions, $958,631. Year-to-date, $8,294,144. For total disbursement for the month of May of $24,748,498. Year-to-date, $204,849,836. We had a net cash deficit in May of $8,779,444. Year-to-date, cash surplus of $63,966,748. Our withdrawal from the investment portfolio up to May 31st was $90 million. And we are 57% of budget for administrative expenses. For the Havenside Mall, we collected in the month of May $479,000. $44. Year to date, $3,571,432. Our total disbursement was $278,854 for May. Year to date, $3,368,221. We have a net cash surplus in May of $200,190 and year to date, $203,211. Our administrative expenses were 42% of budget. That ends the treasurer's report, Board Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Jeremiah. Any questions for Ms. Jeremiah? Can I get a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Smith. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, moved by trustee Smith, seconded by trustee Liger. Can I have a roll call, Mr. Nips?
Trustee Barry, absent. Trustee Dorsey. Trustee Dorsey,
Yes.
trustee Liger,
Yeah.
trustee Russell. Absent. Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Calwood,
Yes,
4 yes, 2 absent.
thank you. Next up, the investment officer's report.
Thank you. So this is Sean Bowen from Makita. I'll be presenting this in Glenville's absence today. I believe Leo is also on the line. So can I share my screen or should someone share it for me?
Share yours.
Okay. So we have performance through May. I guess the two big things in the markets were in May, the U.S. was still fighting the debt ceiling with both sides, but that was resolved. And the debt ceiling was raised until January 2025, so that helped calm the markets. And then the Fed also raised rates another 25 basis points in May, up to 5 to 5.25. In June, they decided for a pause. So that has been, a reversal or different from what's been going on the past several months. For this portfolio, we go to this page. So at the end of May, the investment portfolio was about $387 million. As just previously mentioned, there was $19 million withdrawn from the portfolio in May. And you can see your current allocation versus your policy, which is pretty much right in line. A couple of things are about a percentage off, but still following the plan we implemented at the end of last year. And then as far as performance goes for the month, US equities were positive, about up 40 basis points in the month. Everything else was negative, particularly in international markets with the European banks raising interest rates. That was the headwind to the markets there. Highlight or the total fund portfolio was down about 0.8 for the month of May. But I will note there has been a pretty strong reversal in June. So far, as of yesterday, month to date, we estimate the portfolio is up about 3.2% in June. So that would bring the fiscal year to date. Through May, it was 7.2. We're estimating as of yesterday, it's about 10.4% fiscal year to date. So some solid gains since we've implemented or started to implement the changes to a more aggressive or equity-driven approach. And then within your different asset classes, as a reminder, you have mostly or all index funds besides your two legacy private equity portfolio within Mesero. So pretty much everyone is tracking the index as expected. As I mentioned, international was down about 4% in the quarter. Emerging was down about 2%. And then within your bond portfolio, your largest portion is the Barclays Ag, or the Bloomberg Barclays Ag now, which was down about 1% in the month. But year to date, it's still up about 3% or 2.7%. And then here you have your tips and your high yield bonds. These are a little bit smaller portions of the portfolio, down about 1% each in the month. Any questions?
Questions, trustees?
Yeah, I have a question. So you said we were up overall, and when you say up overall, do you include the bonding note investment that we get once a year, including the drawdowns? I guess you subtract the drawdowns, and then you come up with an overall figure. Is that how you calculate when you say overall we're up? Or are you just referring to just the funds? Are you looking at the total picture?
Yeah, it's all the money that's coming in and coming out. So the bond note that came in, I believe, October 1st, and then it's slowly getting withdrawn down, every other month or so, where the fund needs to pull, I believe, about 20 million, I think about every other month. So it is capturing all those cash flows, and this is the performance is reflective of that.
So I was looking at the same thing. The 20 million, it looks like it's averaging now. When I first come on, it was around 15. Now it's up to 20. So do you see this playing itself out by the end of this year? Do you see this playing out that will still be up if the market continues at this level? Do you see that? Or do you see the drawdowns eating into what we're trying to accomplish here? If it continues at the 20 million drawdown?
The drawdowns are still more than what you're gaining. 20 million, I think that for the end of the year, there's going to be another 20 million in July. So I would expect the value to keep going down, but then, as that funding note comes back in October, it kind of replenishes the coffers. So.
Can you repeat that? You blanked out on my side.
Sorry. So, as a total fund portfolio market value level, I would expect it to go down from here. I wouldn't see the market performance outperforming the cash flows that need to come out. I think there's at least another 20, if not 40 million that needs to come out by the end of this fiscal year. So I guess it depends on how you look at it. From a performance standpoint, you're going to see hopefully a positive performance gain. But from a dollar standpoint, the market value likely will go down because you're just going to be cash flow negative. Interestingly enough, though, with the amount that you got in this year, I think you might end up being right around flat on cash flows, because I think when we did this analysis with Siegel, the amount that you're going to get in versus what needs to come out these first 3 years is about even, assuming the funding note is met.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other trustees have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item, discussion on bill number 35-004.
Mr. Chairman, a request was sent from Senator Carla Joseph for us to, she's the primary sponsor of bill number 35-0004. And she's requesting a review and comments relative to this measure to ensure that the intention and requirements of the government employee retirement system are met in this bill. We reviewed this back in, I think it was March. And General Counsel did respond to me in regards to my inquiry for her to review the bill and give me some some feedback. And the language in Bill number 35004 attempts to allow retirees who are receiving an annuity from the GRS who are subsequently employed by the University of the Virgin Islands if the retiree enrolls in a different retirement plan. Ms. Cashel has the wrong page. The proposed amendment states, a retiree who re-enters the service of the government to be employed by the University of the Virgin Islands may continue to receive an annuity while in receipt of salary from the University of the Virgin Islands if the retiree is enrolled in an alternative retirement system. Our position is this language in the bill does not accomplish its intent because it conflicts with 3 VIC section 706C, which states that only nurses, teachers, and police who re-enters the government may continue to receive the annuity while in receipt of the salary. Also, the language in the bill does not accomplish its intent because it conflicts with D and chapter A, 28A, and section 755C and D, which states, notwithstanding section C, any retired members of the system may re-enter the service of the government by appointment for a period of time not to exceed 36 months without any effect on the member's status as retired and without suspension or diminution of the member's retirement annuity under the following circumstances. I'll hold off and read, but our conclusion, in order to accomplish, for the Senate to accomplish the intent of the proposed amendment, we recommend amending the current language by adding the words notwithstanding section C and D before a retiree. The corrected language would read, notwithstanding section C and D, a retiree who re-enters the service of the government to be employed by the University of the Virgin Islands may continue to receive an annuity while in receipt of a salary from the University of the Virgin Islands if the retiree is enrolled in an alternate retirement system. That's our position. I know that board counsel did respond also. So if there are any questions, board counsel can respond if he feels that in disagreement with our position.
Good morning. I think it's fair. I don't know that we disagree with what Attorney Smith indicated. Basically agreed that the bill as drafted needs work because it doesn't contain the notwithstanding language. I think the more important concern with the fact that what's being proposed is certainly contradictory to what's in 706D, to the extent that the legislature recently amended that to allow retirees to return, but for a limited period and under certain conditions. I think that should be made critical, even if they're going to do the bill for the university employees. But then the other more important question is, why are the university employees being singled out for special treatment? While I understand the response would be because they entered into a different retirement system, the fact is it's defeating the purpose of having retirees return so that they can continue to contribute to the GRS. I think those are the questions I think that somebody needs to answer. And obviously the legislature will do what it wants to do. But I think from the GRS perspective, those should be some of the issues or concerns that we raise.
Attorney Smith?
Yes, Mr. Nibbs. As I said in my analysis, I can't tell the effect it would have on the GRS because we don't know who the employees are who would qualify under this bill as other personnel that are eligible for coverage under the teacher's insurance annuity. So I couldn't do any cost analysis as what it would cost to the GRS because only UVI would have that information. But I agree, it is it is special interest legislation. We know that for a fact because a member inquired about it, and we advised the member that because the UVI is still a plan sponsor, that person was not eligible at the time to come back to work full time. They could only come back to work under the provisions for 2 years and then we get this legislation. So we know it's special interest legislation. But as I said, I can't do a financial analysis because I don't know how many people would qualify under this bill.
Okay, so as a system, I think we all come to agreement that our position, one of our positions is that the bill as drafted is not going to accomplish the intent without having additional deductible standing funds. I think we agree on that. Beyond that, I mean, there are some questions, but I'm not seeing how there's I could be wrong. I don't see how there's an impact across the GRS if we're talking about people that are employed by UPI that have the option of not enrolled in the GRS.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, the cost is.
In my opinion, looking back, I agree with the chair. We don't collect any contributions from TIA-CREF. If TIA want to fill a position, they could put someone else in there. So to me, there's no impact to the GRS because there's never an impact for anyone that is going to be an alternative system to the GRS. However, like I said, to cure the problem, there needs to be a notwithstanding clause. But to me, I don't see no impact to GRS.
Mr. Nibbs,
We
if I
never
may.
received contributions for any, well, let me finish.
Okay,
We
sorry.
never received contributions from anyone who is enrolled in any alternative program.
Mhm.
However, I understand it conflicts with the current legislation, but I don't see any impact because we never would receive any contributions from anyone enrolled in an alternative program. That impact was what the chairman talked about. And I agreed with him in that sense.
Okay, if I may, Mr. Nibbs, the impact would be is that under the current law, those individuals would be able to come back for a certain period of time and would be paying contributions into GRS as well as claiming their annuity. So that's the difference.
That's what I said. The language needs to change. I mean, but if you put it on the table and look at it, there's no impact. However, under the current law, the person can come back for 3 years after 9 months and pay into the country,
Right.
pay into the system.
Mhm. Right. So by allowing them, this bill would take away those contributions that the people would be paying to the GRS coming back for those 3 years. That's the effect it would have.
So I miss it. So
Okay, right now, they cannot come back to work for UVI because UVI is still a plan sponsor. So if they retire from GRS, regardless of what retirement plan they're under, they still cannot come back to work because, as I said, UVI is a plan sponsor. You can only come back to work under the provisions in the code. So by passing this legislation, it allows them to come back, enter into TIA-CREF and not have to pay contributions to GRS. Whereas if this legislation does not go into effect, anybody wanting to come back after they retire at UVI would have to come back under the provisions of 706, which would require them to pay contributions to the system.
okay, so if they retire from UPI, right? And sponsor under GRS, whatever, they collect an annuity from GRS, and they come back to work, and the TIA-CREF or whatever their alternative is. They're not earning service credit or any addition to their annuity for that time that they're re-employed by UPI. So I still don't see how it makes sense.
Well, the thing is, Mr. Carwood, they cannot come back to work, even if they join TIA-CREF because of the way the current legislation is. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, I get that. Well, I don't see how, well, I mean, I don't think, you know, to be a roadblock for the sake of being a roadblock, if it don't cost, if it doesn't impact us, then, I mean, we don't have a nickel in a dime. That's how I see. So beyond saying that, beyond the recommending the addition of the notwithstanding clause, you know, I think that's the extent. I think that's the extent that the GRS should go with respect to taking a position at the, I mean, the other stuff could be honorable mentions, but as far as taking a position, I think we should just recommend that they add a notwithstanding clause, and yeah, not, you know, we don't have a nickel in that dime. That's how I see it. Any other trustees care to weigh?
I had a question, Chair. They
Go ahead,
have an
Ambrose.
alternative. The system has the university has an alternative retirement system and for one group of employees, and they have a second one for another group, which is the GERS system itself. So, and we've talked about this before. So are we looking to try to fix this once and for all? Or are we just focused on the proposed bill from the senator at this point?
It's about the proposed bill, what's in front of us.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? So we agree that that's the position, that's going to be the position of the system, that we recommend the addition of the notwithstanding clause and the other stuff honorable mention.
Yep, I agree.
Trustees?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Nibbs? Got that?
Okay, do we have to have a motion?
Huh?
We have to have a motion.
Okay, do we have a motion to adopt that position on Bill 35.024 that we would recommend the addition of the notwithstanding clause?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Smith. Can I get a second?
Second,
Moved by trustee Smith, seconded by trustee Dorsey. Can I have a roll call, Mr. Nibbs?
Trustee Dorsey, trustee Bowie, absent. Trustee Dorsey,
no
trustee
vote for me.
Dorsey. Excuse me,
I have a no vote.
trustee Russell. Absent. Trustee Smith,
Yes.
trustee Colwood,
Yes.
2 yes.
You didn't call like that.
Trustee Liger,
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, sir.
That's
I
okay.
don't know why I missed you.
That's all right.
That's 2 yes, 1 no, 2 absent.
All right. Can I get a motion to go into executive session?
Chair, I would like to make a motion to go into executive session. And this meeting will be closed to the public for matters pertaining to trade secrets, financial or commercial information, personal or legal matters, or matters whose premature disclosure will frustrate the implementation of the proposed agency action.
Can I get a second?
I second.
All right, moved by trustee Smith, seconded by trustee Liger. Can I have a roll call, Mr. Nibbs?
Trustee Bowie, absent. Trustee Dorsey,
Yes,
trustee Liger,
Yes.
trustee Russell. Trustee Russell, absent. Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Colwood,
Yes.
4 yes, 2 absent.
Okay, let's give IT a couple minutes